Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What started as a political force in support of freedom and liberty in the United States of America and in Canada is now a strong, unwavering alliance between the people of Canada and the people of the United States. It's a strong alliance that has never been seen before in the history of North America. Millions of Americans and millions of Canadians have joined together and are getting involved in their local, state, province, and federal government offices. And they're demanding accountability on the part of elected officials. They want the people that they elected to office, the political leaders who are making decisions regarding the destiny of themselves and their people, to be held accountable for those decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is no secret that in the United States government, as well as in the Canadian government, there are those who have been elected or appointed to office who have embraced the ideology of Marx, Lenin, and Stalin, who have embraced the ideology of the World Economic Forum, who have embraced the ideology of the Chinese Communist Party. And we're doing our best together to fight the woke, liberal, and communist agendas that are designed to limit our freedoms and increase the power of government over the power of the people. Because of the work this alliance is doing, I can tell you that the enemies of freedom and liberty are stepping up their activity to influence political leaders in both our countries to join ranks by promising financial and political rewards and by increasing their spread of propaganda designed to weaken the will of the people. They're also designed to divide the people and eventually paralyze the people with the fear that they're spreading throughout each country in North America and many around the world. The primary enemies of freedom and liberty in our time are the Chinese Communist Party and the World Economic Forum. These are indeed the 21st century evil empires. If you remember, back in the 20th century, there was one evil empire designed to do what? To destroy the freedom and liberty of people worldwide. And that evil empire was called out by President Ronald Reagan. It was the Soviet Union. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, several media outlets in the United States of America reported that the Republicans in Congress are now sounding the alarm on the Chinese Communist Party's efforts to spread propaganda via Western outlets. And what are those outlets? Those outlets are the news media that we presently have in the United States on every network across this land, and I'm sure on the news media outlets in Canada and other news media outlets in countries throughout this planet. Additionally, we believe that the World Economic Forum is desperately trying to recruit more government leaders to buy into their dangerous agenda that serves no purpose but to give government what? More control over the people. Over the past several months, we have been researching and watching the propaganda war that the CCP and the WEF has launched against their two most important targets. And those targets are Canada and the United States of America. We are the countries that have been leading the fight for freedom and liberty since our inception. We've been leading the fight. We've been that shining city upon a hill that has caused people all over the world to look for freedom and liberty. So it's not strange, or it's not just by coincidence that Canada and the United States have been targeted by the evil empires of the 21st century, the Chinese Communist Party and the World Economic Forum. Folks, they've come to realize that we in North America, and what I mean by they is that is the Chinese Communist Party and the World Economic Forum, they've come to realize that we in North America have become their biggest obstacle in their agenda, and instead of the people fearing them, well, they are beginning to fear the people. Ladies and gentlemen, as a result of what they believe now is a problem, and that problem they believe is you and me and freedom-loving people throughout all of the United States and Canada, they are now going to be concentrating enormous resources to paralyze via political interference and via the internet and via the spread of propaganda. They're going to begin to dedicate all of their resources, if not most of their resources, in an effort to destabilize, divide, and eventually, in their view, conquer the will of the people. We believe that the CCP and the WEF will step up their activities to entice political leaders in both our countries to join their ranks and support their pro-communist agenda, offering them, again, financial rewards and political power. We've seen that happen throughout history. We've seen it happen in the 20th century, and we are seeing it happen today in our time. There hasn't been a news day that goes by that some politician, whether that politician be in the Canadian Parliament, the United States Congress, or any governing body around the world, who has sought to gain financially and politically by compromising their oath of office at our expense, at the expense of our freedom and liberty, at the expense of our children's destiny and future. We also believe that they're going to step up their propaganda campaigns by targeting what? First and foremost, religious institutions and laws that protect our freedom of religion and our rights to worship God. The CCP and the WEF know that the people in a nation who worship God remains one of the greatest sources of resistance to authoritarian rule. Hence, their first objective is to destroy a free people's right to religious freedom. And then they believe, ladies and gentlemen, that this will begin a domino effect that will conquer all of our freedoms. Now, these tactics are not new. They come right out of the Communist Party playbook. And it is no accident that Canada and the United States are their primary targets. The alliance for freedom and liberty between the people of Canada and the United States of America is something no one ever expected to happen, but it happened. The CCP and the WEF have underestimated the will, the power, and the might of the people on both a political and spiritual front. Ladies and gentlemen, they believe that after all the money and all the effort over these years that they have put into the advancement of their agendas, that we would have fallen, that our will would have been broken, that we would have quit the fight and surrender to their will. That has not happened in the past, it has not happened now, and it will not happen in the future. Campaign for America is committed to help lead the fight to these enemies by providing intelligence and information about the dangers of these 21st century evil empires to millions of people in North America. We will encourage the people to fight this battle within the framework of the law, within the framework of the laws of our land. I'm talking about the Bill of Rights and the Constitution of the United States of America, as well as the laws of every land across North America. We're talking about Canada. We're talking about the United States. We're talking about even countries around the world. We are people who work within the framework of the law, and within the framework of the law, we will win and they will lose. That has always happened throughout history, so we're not going to give up this fight. We are not going to surrender our freedoms. In fact, our freedoms, our liberty, and our individual rights are not negotiable. They're going to begin to use all the tools and resources they have, ladies and gentlemen, to throw at us in the coming days and months and years. But we believe that our efforts will bring to surface leaders in both our countries with courage and the sheer guts to speak to power with power, the power to defeat in every election those who oppose freedom and liberty, and the power to send the CCP and the WEF to the ash bin of history where the Soviet Communist Party now resides. What we are planning is not new. This strategy that we will be empowering and invoking within the next few days was used in the late 20th century to bring down the Soviet Communist Party, and it worked. The 21st century evil empires started this fight, and we the people intend to end it in a peaceful but powerful way. The Communist Party of China and the World Economic Forum, they may have millions of dollars, they may have more resources than we do, but we Americans and Canadians have millions of people. We're ready. We're willing and we're able to use our Bill of Rights, our Constitution, the laws of the land, and probably, no doubt, most importantly, the power of prayer to defeat them, and they will be defeated. All we need from you, the people who are listening to this message, is to help us by sending what we send to you, what we publish over the social media networks, what we get to you. Please, we encourage you to share, share, share. Send it far and wide to your neighbors, to your friends, to your family members. What we will send to you are facts, not opinions, but facts. regarding how these enemies of freedom and liberty are operating, we will name names. We're going to get it to you as soon as we get it. We believe that information and knowledge is power. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Collect information, knowledge, intelligence, and give the people the power they need to conquer the foes of freedom and liberty. And that's how we're going to do this, folks. We are not going to give up. We are not going to surrender. We're not going to turn our backs and walk away from this fight. But we're going to make sure this flag right here continues to fly over every building in the United States of America, and make sure that this flag here continues to fly over every building in the nation of Canada. And whatever nation you're from, I'm sure you're proud of your country and proud of your flags. Well, if your flag is standing for freedom and liberty, then we will stand with you. As we engage these evil empires, remember this. Remember this moving forward. Remember this when the days of discouragement come your way. When you're walking through that valley of despair, just remember this. Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me this evening. Please share this video far and wide. You'll be hearing from us real soon. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Open your eyes, open your mouth, speak up, and open your ears, because when you open your ears, believe me, at the end of this fight, at the end of this journey, you will hear 3 words: let freedom ring. Thank you. I salute you. God bless America. God bless Canada. And God bless freedom-loving people all over the world.